In this video lesson, we'll be walking through the requirements for Lab 2 sources using Reason in standalone mode. So I'm going to head over to my dock here on the left side of my Mac and open Reason 11 and type in my password. And I'm still using Reason in demo mode here, as probably you are as well. So I'll just continue, run without rack extensions. And in a second, it'll give me a blank Reason rack, and here we go. All right, let's get started. First things first, in the Reason menu, let's get our audio and keyboard surfaces set up. So from the Preferences menu in Reason, first I'm going to go to Audio, and here at home I have Telestream Audio Capture selected. That's so I can make this video for you using ScreenFlow. At home you may want to choose built-in output, or if you've got a USB audio interface, such as this Scarlett 6i6, you could choose that. So anyway, choose your audio interface so that you'll be able to hear Reason, okay? All right, next, control surfaces. Here at home, again, I've got a Novation 37SL USB MIDI controller, and I want to make sure that that is used with Reason. Make sure that's selected because we're using Reason in standalone mode, okay? Finally, in general, before we go any further, I want to go ahead and for default song, this is in my general mode here, I'm going to make sure that load default sound in new devices is unchecked. So again, I'm going to check that just so you can see where it is, but make sure that load default sound in new devices is unchecked. And also for default song, select empty rack. That's a really good way to start because we'll always want to start with a blank rack and no patches loaded into any of our synthesizers that we add. So right now we are done with preferences. Let's go ahead and build some stuff into our rack. All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to here to Utilities, and I'm going to go and select a mixer 14.2, so a 14-channel stereo mixer. Now, when I drag this into the empty rack, I am going to first hold down my Shift key. So pressing and holding Shift, then dragging, and then letting go like that. Now, if you want to delete something from the rack, just click on it, and you'll see a blue border around it. And I'll hit my Delete key, and I can delete the device. Let me show you what happens if I don't hold down the Shift key when I drag something into my rack. It auto-creates a mixed channel device, which we don't want for what we're doing here in our lab 2. Because we're really using Reason not as a full-fledged DAW. We're using it just for the synthesis features. So a couple of things you can do. You can either click on that mixer strip itself, hit your Delete key. It'll ask you if you want to delete all in group or selected only. I'll delete selected only. Okay? All right. Now that we've got that established, always hold Shift when you're dragging things into your rack. Let's hit the Tab key and make our first connection in the rack. Tab to the back. And we want to come directly out of our mixer here into the audio outputs that go to our DAW, or our native audio. So here, where you're seeing master section, I'm going to take where it says master out. I'm going to grab my left out and reconnect it right here to the output of my mixer, the left side, the right side to the right out. And now I'm good to go there. And if I want to create a little bit more room, I'll just hit the collapse triangle right there. All right. Now we've got audio from our mixer going to our native audio or our digital audio interface. Let's go ahead and add a subtractor because that is the synthesizer we'll be working with to really get solid in our knowledge of analog synthesis. Okay. Let's go and just scroll down here. So I selected instruments. And by the way, if you can't see your browser, if your browser doesn't show up, it's really right here. Okay. So there is browser. For some odd reason it's closed. There you open it. Okay. All right. Let's head down to Subtractor Analog Synthesizer. And right here, you see I've got a little crosshatch there. I'm going to drag that down. All right, good. Now, press Shift, drag. All right. Now you can see I can tab back and forth. There's the front, there's the back. And I'm going to connect This is a monophonic instrument, so in order to stereoize it, so it feeds both the left and right sides of my headphones or my speakers, I need to drag it into the left. You can see left mono input here. Left top side of channel 1, and that will quote-unquote stereoize it for me or feed it to both the left and right outputs of my stereo bus. So that really is what you'll be doing, kind of a rinse and repeat there. The other thing I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and name my subtractor, and I'm going to name it my initials right there. So 1 JP, because I'm creating 8 of these. Okay, so that'll be my first subtractor, number 1 JP. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more subtractors. So just to make things a little bit easier here, I will scroll. Just grab the edge of my rack right there. You can see my mouse. Go back to Instruments, find Subtractor, press and hold Shift, drag Subtractor in, connect to the left side of channel 2. Go down and name that one, number 2, JP, and we're good to go. All right. So I'm going to finish building out this rack, and then we'll come back and work through all the Subtractor sources features for the lab. Okay.